I slashed my head. She's so scared she didn't know what to do because I wasn't getting up. It's just a mess.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Starve the Demon, Recovery by Any Means Necessary. I'm your hostess, Jenna, and today I've got a very special guest, Kyle from Wisconsin. Hi, Kyle. Welcome to Starve the Demon.
Well, thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. What was your childhood like?
My dad was a heavy drinker, pretty much just your classic binge drinker. And
Okay.
he did quit, I think, when he was 40. But my mom, no. But my grandfather was an alcoholic, though. Bad enough
Okay.
where he lost his legs and lost his eyesight due to diabetes 3.
The diabetes was alcohol related?
Definitely.
You didn't grow up in that kind of environment where everybody was drinking and drugging.
Correct. I had a very good childhood. My parents, upper middle class. I had a sister who was 8 years older than me, so I was pretty much an only child. Grew up in a little town and just never had any issues until I got into high school. It was great.
So when did you start drinking?
My grandparents owned a bar up in Door County, Wisconsin. I was probably 12 when I had my first beer. Then, 14, hanging around the neighborhood, the kids would have sneak some drinks away from their parents. I would say from like 16 through high school, I actually didn't like drinking. I didn't like what it was doing to me. When I turned 17, that's when, okay, I kind of like this feeling. And it just progressed rapidly from there. When I was 18, I went to a bigger city, Green Bay. That's where I went to technical school. I moved in with my girlfriend. I dropped out because I was offered a full-time position. But during that time, it was the college days, and I hung out with all college people. That's when it was drinking like every other night, definitely on the
'Cause
weekends.
that's just what everybody was doing. And it didn't seem abnormal.
Absolutely not.
So when did you realize that it was becoming a problem?
Probably mid 20s. So I took a position with that company, and it was all out of town work. There's pretty much only one thing to do: you work, get done, you drink. And so I did that for 4 years.
This was like an almost everyday thing.
Yes, yeah, every day. And in that time, I ended up getting married and having a son, but the drinking never slowed down.
You started young, experimenting like we all did. Like I think the majority of people do. And then as you get a little older, it gets to be a little more. What did you get out of drinking? What was the benefit to you at that time that kept you going back and doing it?
In the beginning, it was that I would talk more, I'd be more part of the crowd. And then it got to the point where I needed a certain feeling right before a blackout, and I wouldn't stop until I got to that feeling. That's what ended up happening. I was going to get this across. I was never depressed. I was never diagnosed with anything. I never had trauma. I got so highly addicted to that feeling that that's all I wanted 24/7. Then I was blacking out all the time.
Mm.
That was constant. Every night I would drink until I didn't remember. And I'd find out the next morning and be like, oh God, I did that. And this was in my early 20s.
And you had a wife and kid back home waiting for you. Did your wife drink? Did y'all party together?
Little, she hardly drank at all. Yeah, pretty much be like I would have to force her to drink. It
Mm.
wasn't like I was shoving it down her throat, but it was about, come on, have a drink, come out in the garage and have a drink with us. And she would every once in a while, but it was very few and far between.
Good. Some people go their whole life never drink. They're out there. But did anything traumatic happen to you?
I got a lot of stories of coming close. I just kept on drinking until the point of my first divorce.
Now, was that a contributing factor to your marriage not working out?
Yes. When I was 21, I ended up buying that bar that my grandparents used to own. I ran that bar for about a year and I couldn't control it. I would get so drunk, and my wife, who didn't drink, was trying to run it with me. And I ended up just getting rid of it. Nothing changed. I kept on working out of town, drinking, come home, drink. And then we decided kind of mutually to get divorced. Kind of stayed friends with her.
Well, that's good. I mean, y'all have a kid. You got to work
Right.
together.
It was very mutual. So 50-50 custody. That was 28 years ago. After the divorce, then it went really bad. Then I'm drinking every single night, waking up in the mornings, drinking to feel better. It was numerous relationships, all bad. I came to a point where I didn't care about my life anymore. Then I came to a head in my early 30s.
So a good decade and a half.
Of drinking and ruining relationships and just about losing my house numerous times because I drank it all away. I actually got fired from a job for drinking. I was in sales in Madison, Wisconsin, which is a party town. That's where our college is. I was racking up $5,000 to $6,000 in expenses, taking customers out.
Were you making any sales?
The bars are making a lot of sales. I didn't have a job. I was working for a friend for cash. Just come home, drink, drink, drink. And then finally, one day after a bad drunk, I was driving to a job, and all of a sudden I started feeling like I was having a heart attack. So I pulled over. I called my mom. She came and got me, and sitting next to me was my loaded 9mm. I don't remember pulling it out. I remember a little bit of the drive, my mom getting there, my mom, I think, putting the gun in my glove compartment and then grabbing my keys. And she brought me to my primary doctor and then into a psych hospital. So that was my first round of detox.
Is that your first rock bottom?
That was my first rock bottom.
If you're like me, you got rock bottom. It's got a trap door until you finally really hit so low you stop digging. So at this point, it was no longer fun. You were drinking because your demon was strong. That's what I'm hearing. I bet it stopped being fun way before that.
Oh, in my later 20s.
And you still kept drinking for 10 more years.
Yes.
To anybody that's watching this that's not an alcoholic, that sounds insane. Anybody that is an alcoholic, yep, sounds about right. That's normal for us.
Everyone has their stories about Wisconsin, how much we can drink. And I think especially my area, what I was doing was normal. What are we doing tonight? Oh, we're going to the bar. Okay, cool. That would be every night. And I hung out with the group of people that was exactly like me, drank the same. Only when they were done and they went home, it's either I closed the bar or I came home and went in my garage and had 6 more beers before I went to bed. I needed to feel that feeling. I ended up staying sober for 4.5 years.
Amazing. How'd you do it? Did you go to AA? Did you work a program?
AA.
Did you get a sponsor?
My Bible. No.
Hey.
My first bout with AA. I knew better. I knew
Didn't
it.
tell you nothing.
Yep.
You didn't need the 12 steps, didn't need a sponsor, didn't need nothing. Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't mean to laugh at you, but
No, no. I laugh about it when I talk about it. I was going to do this program myself, and I was going to do it my way.
yeah, because your way had worked so great so far.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. A real stellar life I've been living here.
Yeah.
So 4.5 years, I was a complete dry drunk. Yep, white knuckling it, still doing the same behaviors that I did, Mr. Know-it-all.
Sure.
So I ended up getting married to a woman. She was 10 years younger than me. She had 2 daughters. So I had 2 stepdaughters.
Oh, so now you're stepdaddy and surrounded by women.
Yeah, but I was still sober for a little while. Then all of a sudden, most alcoholics talk about this little person on your shoulder telling you stuff, whispering in your ears, and they're saying, okay. So for about a year, year and a half, I was planning my relapse. Okay, eventually I'm going to be able to drink like a normal person.
Oh,
And
sure.
I kept on telling myself this. And that little person's like, go ahead, Kyle, you can have a drink tonight. I remember the exact bar. It was wintertime. I told my wife at the time, I said, I'm going to have a drink. And she's like, do you think you can handle it? I said, of course I can handle it. I haven't drank for 4.5 years. I'm just going to do it moderately, you know? Well, so there goes that drink. I think I had 7 more that night, mixed drinks.
Sounds about right.
Wasn't completely stupid, but then within 2 weeks, guess what? I was drinking just the way I was before I got sober.
Imagine that. So you hadn't actually read the book at this point.
I read a few pages.
Listen, I was in and out of the rooms. Right, you're either in or you're out, man. And for years, I took up space in the meetings. I was bullshitting my way through it. And I actually opened the book and started reading it. It could have just said, hey, Jen. Everything in it. Oh, yeah, that's me. That's me. Yeah.
I went on a 5-year relapse. Ended up getting divorced again. Was my drinking part of that? Yeah. There was also infidelity. Both sides. She really didn't drink much, but then once I started drinking, well, then we were going out every night. It just turned into a shit show.
Inhibitions get lowered, standards get lowered, boundaries disappear. Yeah.
Yep. No boundaries.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was pretty much a free for all.
Okay.
And then I just decided that that's enough. She moved out immediately and moved in with my best friend. He wasn't my best friend after that. Yeah, I still haven't
Yeah,
talked to him to
yeah.
this day. Guess who the first person I called?
Your
And
ex-wife.
yeah, yeah, we're back together now. We have been since the night that I told my second ex-wife to get bent and get out the door. My first ex-wife, Carrie, she's been living with me ever since. She was with me for 2 years of my drinking. I don't know how she stuck with me because I was worse than I was when we were married. COVID happened. I work in the healthcare field. And of course, I
Mm.
ended up getting it. All I did was lose my taste. I spent 10 days in my garage all day drinking and smoking cigarettes.
You had to quarantine.
When I look back at it, I'm so disgusted. Finally, it gets to the point where it's getting bad. She's not even going out with me anymore. She's just sitting at home. And I just don't stop. Finally, one day, my buddy had his birthday party, and we were over at his house. We were drinking at 7 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday.
The Lord's
Work-
Day.
Yeah, I know. So I ended up coming home completely annihilated. I was out of it. Don't remember any of this. All I know is I fell down. I hit my head on a door hinge. So I slashed my head. She's so scared she called my dad because she didn't know what to do because I wasn't getting up. It's just a mess.
Y'all just don't call 911 in Wisconsin, huh? Yeah.
No,
This is 3 separate times in your story where I would think 911 would be the first call.
right? And I know.
All right.
So I'm on the ground bleeding. Somehow they get me to bed. I wake up and it's just all this shit coming back to my mind of what happened. I guess that was my moment of clarity. I'm like, you have got to stop this. I got a son. Our relationship is okay. To be honest, when he was in high school, he was drinking with me, which is horrible. And now the funny thing is, my son doesn't hardly even drink anymore ever since I got sober.
That's great.
He's got a family now. I got a little granddaughter now. That was it. My home group is on Thursdays. It's this little meeting that we have in a town called Luxembourg. And I had no issues about walking back in. Pretty much all the same people were there. And the guy that runs it, the chairperson, he was just like, I knew you'd be back.
He remembered you.
So this 5-year relapse time, I was bartending because you can drink for free while getting paid.
Sure.
It's the perfect alcoholic's job.
It really is.
This guy, his name's Dan. He's probably going to watch us. He would come into he would come into the bar I was working at to pick up food. And I instantly would be like, oh, there's Dan. Oh, God, I remember him from AA. So he'd be like, oh, how you doing? And, I'm like, oh, I'm doing great. I hardly even drink at all, and I just got done slamming 5 shots.
Sure, you
He's like,
feel like you instantly have to defend yourself, even though nobody's attacking
exactly.
you.
And then I'd be going doing my grocery shopping with a case of beer in my cart, and all of a sudden I'd be like, oh, there's Dan. And I would like go all through the aisles trying to avoid him. And he would always catch up to me, and he would be like, oh, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing great. Life's great. Lying. So I started going to regular meetings and really opened up the book this time. Within a month, I was doing Zoom meetings, trying to soak it in as much as I could. And I ended up becoming a really good friend with a guy on a Zoom meeting from Sacramento, California. He's still my sponsor. 3.5 years later.
That's amazing. Listen, I'm so glad that you said that because when COVID happened, my sponsor at the time lived 20 minutes away from me and we couldn't meet in person. We did everything over FaceTime. So I think it's great that you've been doing this for 3.5 years now with somebody that is from California. Have y'all ever met in person?
No. Nope.
You went through the book. You worked your 12 steps. Do you sponsor other people? Do you do 12-step work?
Yes. So I got my 2 sponsees. One is over internet, FaceTime, and text messaging. And then one is local. I meet with him every Sunday afternoon.
When we're talking about sponsorship, let me say something. I have yet to have a sponsee call me every single day. Do they call you every day?
No. Have you ever heard of the Little Red Book?
Yes.
I'm working with my sponsees with that and a big book. But the Little Red Book gives you a different look at the steps. I got so much out of that little book, breaks the steps up so people can understand it a little bit better. But that's a good tool. I love that book.
I use, of course, the big book. I use the 12 and 12 also.
Okay.
The same thing.
Yep.
Makes it just make more sense. What does your service work look like?
I do a lot of service works. Ended up being the GSR for another home group that I'm in. I have two home groups. Also, I am the public information chairperson for District 22. And then I ended up going back to one of my meetings that I used to go to the first time I was sober. Now I'm the vice president of the bridge, the clubhouse itself.
For anybody that doesn't know, these are volunteer positions done in service of helping alcoholics that still suffer, and these are not paid positions.
I will tell you straight out, AA saved my life, but the service work that I do and the giving back that I do is so important in my program. It's unbelievable. And I think that's the difference that I'm making this time in recovery is my service work. I get so much out of it. I don't even know how to explain it. I love it so much. Thank God, Carrie. She lets me do all this. And I thank her all the time. And she gets involved too. I mean, she'll help out at the clubhouse and stuff like that.
She ever go to Al-Anon?
Boy, I wish she would. We've had this discussion numerous times. She said maybe eventually.
I 1,000% recommend it to the friends and family because you have to figure out for yourself how to navigate life without being codependent on the addict. I know I keep saying addict and not alcoholic. Just to clarify, alcoholics are addicted to alcohol. Addicts do their drugs alcoholically. To me, it's all the same. If you're not a slave to the demon, great. That's awesome. But if you're having to deal with somebody that is, I think Al-Anon's very helpful.
Right. No, I definitely agree. I wish she would go, but that's her own choice. I have a
Sure.
lot of friends in recovery that their spouses go and they enjoy it.
What did you learn from that relapse?
I learned that no matter how much you think you can drink again, you can't go back. It just doesn't work. Your brain's always going to tell you, yes, you can. You can be like everyone else. You can do it in moderation, stuff like that. Relapse is real. Relapse can sneak up on you. It's scary as all hell. I could actually pinpoint my thinking of planning my relapse for over a year. And then it finally happened. And I remember that feeling when I ordered it. I remember exactly where I was. I had that sitting in front of me and I was like, you shouldn't do this. And that's the same feeling I had every time I drank in that 5-year relapse. In my brain, I'm like, Kyle, you know you're going to drink until you get to frickin' blackout. Why are you doing this? But after that first swig, you're like, hey, I don't care, Good
Yeah.
times,
That's a lie.
Yeah, I know. Good times, yeah. Oh, the cops are here again. But and to be honest, I really don't know if I have another recovery in me. And that's what scares me too. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know if I could do the recovery again. Because both times I ended up feeling like I just wanted to give up on life. I didn't care. I was worried about getting that drink, and that was it. And I needed to feel that feeling. I didn't care if I mowed down anyone in front of me to get to it. I had to do it.
Yeah.
Relapse is scary. It is. And after you get sober after a relapse, you think about it more and you think about how stupid you were to do it. But then you also realize that this disease is so cunning and baffling, it sneaks up on you and tries to trick you.
Mhm.
It's complete insanity. I'm always going to be in recovery.
What would you say to somebody who doesn't want to try AA? Who says, oh, try 12 steps not going to work. AA is not going to work. What would you say to that person?
I know sober people that have done different programs, and I think some of them work. I know 2 people that have done smart recovery.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
they're sober. I have a very good friend of mine, actually, the friend whose birthday party was the day I fell over on my kitchen floor. He got sober. About a year after I got sober, he's very Christian based.
Sober
Celebrate
recovery is
recovery.
big.
I would just say I would definitely consider joining some type of program. You can try it on your own, but if you ever want to get into some type of program, here's my number. Give me a call if you're ready.
Good answer. What is your favorite AA cliche?
It's going to be one day at a time. That's the only way I can live this program is one day at a time, and you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Also, you probably shouldn't dwell on your past.
Nice. I like that one too. Can't deal with yesterday. Can't do anything about tomorrow. Just right here, right now. What's a motto that you just live by?
Keep it clean, keep it simple, and we'll see you tomorrow.
I like it. What is your best advice to a newcomer?
Give the program a chance. To a person just walking in, it's like, holy shit, what did I just walk into? All I'm hearing is God, 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 God. The first time I was in this program, I would say I was agnostic. I
Mhm.
didn't know what the hell to believe in. I grew up Catholic. I was totally against Catholic religion because I was forced to go to church. You just got to worry about a higher power. Don't even worry about that right now. The thing
Yeah.
you need to worry about is don't drink, stay sober, and read the first 164 pages. Stick with it. Come to a few meetings. Give us 3 months. If you don't like it, we'll refund your misery for free.
If someone is watching this and they're struggling, what would you say to them?
I guess I would say first thing, if you don't know where there's a meeting, call one of the AA hotlines for sure. Either that, go on the computer, see if you can find a meeting, go to the A or NA or whatever you think you're going to be interested in, go onto one of their websites and just start researching and get to a meeting. It's pretty much all you can tell them. I had bad going. My past is horrible. I was a horrible, horrible person at times, and I could not stop drinking until I went to this program and I started following it. All of a sudden, one day it just started working. And it sounds weird, but it does work. I don't want to say it's magic, but if you're serious about it and you're sick of the pain that you're in, just give it time and eventually it starts clicking. I would tell you straight out that those promises, the first time I was dry drunk, those promises didn't come true. This time, they really, really did. It took about a year and a half, damn near 2 years before I can actually say it. Those promises came true. And when they did, it hit me like a freaking brick. It was freaking awesome.
My sponsor pointed out to me, those are night step promises. No, you don't get them fronted. Sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. It's going to depend on how
Mhm.
quickly or slowly you work your amends. That's the connection. You're so right. Besides your job, you have something else that you do. I want to hear all about your business venture and what you do and how the audience can be a part of that. And I'm going to put links in the description.
So after I became sober, I need something to do. So I started making t shirts and it grew. And I started an apparel company. It's called Champion Fire. My apparel company really, really got big. I'm doing all
Really?
bunch of area stuff. Um, Converted my garage into a print shop. And about a year ago, I started thinking that I want to do something for recovery and sobriety. I'm in the works right now of creating a nonprofit. I'm about halfway through. I ended up creating another company called Normalize Sobriety. I have an online store, sells hoodies, hats. This is my logo right here. Yeah. And I got my hats. The reason I call it Normalize Sobriety is the world has pretty much normalized drinking, and especially in Wisconsin, with drugs too. I think it's time for people to step up and normalize sobriety. And what better way wear some apparel that say it? It is going to be a nonprofit. So 100% of my profits is going into a fund, go to grants for people that need to get into sober living. I want to dedicate more time to this. I wear everything that I make proudly, especially around my area because we're known for drinking. I'm getting the point across. Maybe something one day will click in their head. Sobriety is non normalized because a lot of people are afraid of people that have been drug addicts, that have been drunks. We are people. Yeah, I might have been
Mhm.
town drunk, but not anymore. I'm in recovery. I'm just a normal person now, still a little crazy in the head, but trying to get rid of that stigma is don't be afraid of us. Normalize
Yeah.
it. And we do have something really cool in Green Bay. Green Bay Packers, they have a thing called
Mhm.
Section Yellow for sober people. So
Oh,
they
that's awesome.
yeah, they have meetings going on the whole time during the game. So if anyone needs a meeting or someone to talk to, and they give away free water and free little like towels and stuff like
Wow.
that. It's for sober people.
Thing.
It's slowly getting its way into Green Bay, but Green Bay is so tough with normalizing sobriety.
Because that's kind of the culture there. Everybody drinks.
It's
Yeah. Listen, I know I come from a long line of Irish people. We drink and we fight. I quit drinking. I quit fighting. I was nothing nice. And I'm totally different. People that meet me today and then they find out the things like, I was in prison for a long time. I was on probation for a long time. They didn't put me in prison for singing too loud in church. This cute little that you see in front of you today, 8 years ago, that was not the case. Yeah, I would steal your shit and help you look for it. Yeah, that was me. Yeah.
right?
That's the greatest gift of recovery. Oh my God, that you're surprised when I tell you that. That makes me feel good.
Exactly. Same on me. I was an asshole. Glorified asshole.
But look at us now. So, is there anything else that you would like to share with the audience?
Well, here's going to be a cliche. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, I'm not just going to say AA because there's so many out there. There's 12-step programs. There's smart recovery. Give it a try. It's going to be different at first. It's something you're not used to. You're used to either doing drugs or getting drunk or doing something else, gambling. But give it a try. Listen to the suggestions of the people that have a little more recovery, and just give it a try. Um, like the old timers always say, we can give back your misery for free. And it is true because I was miserable for
Mm.
many, many years. And that's why I smile now. The promises did come true for me. And I'm just all around so much happier person. When I drank, I was happy for about maybe an hour, and then I wasn't happy. It was bad for everyone. So just give it a try. Stick with it. It can work. For me, it took 2 rock bottoms. Hopefully, it's my last rock bottom. I think it will be. I needed that, and I can't complain about the life I have now. It's so much better.
That's great. And I promise you hit rock bottom when you stop digging. Thanks for watching, everybody. And let's thank Kyle. Hey. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment, share it with your friends if you still have any. Check out the website, starvethedemon.com. You can buy me a t-shirt, buy me a coffee. And remember, love everybody. Let God sort them out. Keep coming back. We're going to keep coming back. Bye.